So tomorrow we take on a Leeds United who are going strong in the Championship. And so this is a game where we lose this one, then our season's finished. Our season's done anyway, because even if we get to the final, we're going to lose it for the 7th time. There's no guarantees that we're going to do anything. I don't want to lose, but I prefer getting knocked out earlier than another heartache of losing another final. But my preference obviously is to win the thing. So, but I just don't give us that much hope against. Even if we get through Leeds, can we realistically beat Liverpool, Man City, or any other teams who are left in the competition? Arguably not. But anyway, I want to talk about us. Are we slowly becoming the new Leeds? I've been supporting Chelsea for years and years and years, many years. And when I started supporting Chelsea, my brother, who was older than me, used to tell me of the Leeds team. So I remember him telling me about this Leeds versus Southampton game. And I managed to watch it. You can catch the highlights if you want. 1972 it was, where they humiliated Southampton 7-0. And at the time, Leeds should have dominated football back in the 70s. I think they only won, one title, 2 titles, and a couple of cups in that period, but they should have won a lot more. They were a dominant force. They had Don Revie, I think, was a manager. They had people like Terry Europe, Norman Hunter, and Nobby Stiles. So Jack Charlton, I think, was playing for them. So they had some really good players back then. And if they were one of the big boys back then, they were a top 4 or 5 club, and we actually were what Leeds are at the moment. Because when I first started supporting Chelsea, just after that period, we were languishing between the first and the second division, and I think we just got relegated when I started supporting them. A lot of people are saying this is the worst Chelsea team they've ever seen. Those who've lived as long as me or longer, that Danny Blanchflower team was shocking, terrible. But pound for pound, this side, because of the money spent, are not great. But that team were poor. They were awful, losing games like 7-2 against Middlesbrough, and that's one of the games that stood out for me. But so Leeds' demise came. They fell from grace. I think it was in the 80s. Came back in, and then actually won a league. They won a league under Howard Wilkinson. I think they won the last league before the Premier League started, when it was the old Division 1, and that was under Howard Wilkinson. And again, they slipped away for a bit. They came back, and David O'Leary, I think, was the manager at the time, and they got into the Champions League on a couple of occasions, ahead of us, because that's when we were vying for 4th or 5th place with the likes of Leeds and Newcastle. I think Leeds were the team, but then they followed apart. They overspent with their money. Their management, the board it was a badly run club at the time, and because of that, we were lucky because we were kind of in a similar situation back then. But then we got Roman Abramovich. They didn't get anyone. They got Ken Bates, I think, in the end, and they went down. So the point I'm trying to prove is that, or trying to make, sorry, is that no team are too big to fall from grace. Like Leeds United fell from grace now, and everyone looking at Leeds United wouldn't think of them as a major club, as a big club. If they go up, they've got that pedigree and that history, but you wouldn't consider them amongst the elite. And Chelsea's fall from grace has been massive this season. We've even got Tottenham bantering us. Tottenham, of all teams, are actually bantering us, and there's nothing we can do about it because we're poor. We're not great this season. If these owners don't address things soon and don't accept mediocrity, then we can. I was saying relegated, but players are not going to want to join us. Players who've joined us are going to want to leave, and it's not going to be great. It's not going to be pretty. So let's hope they can get everything sorted out, because at the moment, as I said, well, the way it's looking, it's there's a lot of disgruntled Chelsea fans out there at the moment, and we've got to start seeing results soon. And the other thing is that there's talk about, even if we did beat Liverpool yesterday and won that cup, then we may fail to meet the financial fair play criteria of playing in the was it the Conference League? Because the Conference League, you don't make a lot of money from that one anyway. And Chelsea, the financial fair play is done slightly different, and we may not have been able to meet the criteria of Europe anyway. And that's because of the waste of money that we spent on people like Mudryk. Why did we buy Mudryk, for example? Just because Arsenal wanted him, and we wanted to show how big we were in the transfer market. But there was a lot of no thought went into a lot of these buys, and now we've got a £83 million or £68 million problem on our hands at the moment. I think it's only going to be I say only, it's still a lot of money. He's not going to meet his targets to get up to the £83 million, because I think a lot of those targets are Chelsea finishing top 4, winning the league, him doing something. So none of those targets are met. So I can safely say that it's probably going to be just 68 million wasted. But the thing is, had we given him to Arsenal and we took someone like a Trossard, I think that would have suited us better, because you can see Trossard in big moments for Arsenal coming up with big goals. But because we haven't got that experience, Mudryk doesn't offer us that. And not to say Mudryk can't be a good player, I'm not saying that. But the problem is with what we've done as well, is because we've got all these young players in at the same time, you're in the spotlight straight away. If he had gone to Arsenal, I guarantee you he would have been doing a lot better, because he wouldn't have been in the spotlight. He would have he'd have eased him in gently into the side. He would have been coming into a side full of confidence. So I think that you'd have sort of seen a different Mudryk, but he wasn't the right fit, I don't think, for Chelsea. And the way that we bought him, because he wasn't one of our targets, it's just that Arsenal were after him, so we thought, let's get one over them, when we didn't really have a plan for him. And that's what we need to start doing a lot better now. When we're selecting our players, we need to be making smart decisions. As I said, if they don't do things like that, then yes, we will become the new Leeds. And the other thing I heard today was that the owners are happy. Poch just delivered his press conference just before I made this video, and he's saying that the owners are happy with him, pleased with him. So again, that's red flags. Accepting performances like that, the extra time performance deserved a bollocking. But the way, if it's been true and they were content with that sort of performance, then that's not the sort of performances that I want, the standard of performances that I want at this club. I don't want our owners to be happy with that neither, because if that's the case, then we are going to show no progress whatsoever. So I just hope that we don't become another Leeds, but come on, as I said, owners, you need to give me confidence that we can do it. I've always been one who's been talking patience and everything else, but we need to see some signs, guys. We need to see some signs, and at the moment, as I said, we've seen one or two bits now and again, but I'm just need that at this point of the season now. We should be having consistent performances. There should be a plan of what needs to be done, but yet we're not seeing that. So I don't, even going into this game against Leeds, I'm not confident. I don't know what Chelsea's going to turn up. If it's a Chelsea who turned up after that poor performance against Liverpool last time, coincidentally, the one who turned up against Aston Villa, then yeah, we got no problems against this side. But if it's the one who turned up for the extra time against Liverpool, then Leeds are going to blow us away. That's the thing, and that's the problem with looking at Chelsea games at the moment. You just don't know what Chelsea are going to turn up. So guys, stick your comments in the section below, and don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications to be notified when I make a new video. So take care. Bye-bye.